Good morning, everybody. Last time we talked about ARDS. We talked about what is important in ARDS. We talked about ARDS being the difference between 6 ml and 12 ml of tidal volumes. We talked about the fact that we require the plateau pressures to be placed less than 30. In fact, certain studies have even said that plateau pressures less than 25 is what is also required. So we are not very certain about the plateau pressure goals. Um, at the same time, we just said that mortality does change. Mortality does change with the once the tidal volume does come down with respect to the predicted body weight. We also talked about the fact that uh, evidence about what works in ARDS and what doesn't work in ARDS. See, all these lectures are available on the website. So at any given moment, if you want to revise, you can just go to the website, and whatever we are talking is there on the website. You'll also get most of the written work on the website also. Like if there's whatever I'm talking will probably be there on the written work also. A small series called as Fast and Furious. On the website, there is a series called as Fast and Furious. It's a very small website series where you can whatever we talk, you'll understand in small notes very quickly. That's about the website. So today we're going to do an important topic, and that important topic is about recruitment maneuvers and recruitment in the ARDS, which is a topic on its own, full question on its own, and it's important that all of us recognize how recruitment is all about. Following which, we'll quickly go into pancreatitis, where Sainath will discuss about all about the aspects of pancreatitis. So let us start with Dr. Anand. He's going to start talking about recruitment maneuvers, and then we will take it from there as a part of the discussion. All right. Let me just share the screen for you on recruitment maneuvers. Okay, can you all see the screen as of now? Sainath, can you see the screen? Sainath, can you see the screen? Elizabeth, can you see the screen? Yeah, recruitment in ARDS it shows. All right. So Anand, unmute your mic and you can start talking about recruitment in ARDS.
Yes, sir. Actually, recruitment is one of the most important treatment modality in ARDS, though it's there are various studies about it. Recruitment in ARDS is very simple to say that it is just an aeration of the unaerated lung. The lung is divided. Sir, up next slide karo na. So it is actually a transient sustained increase in the transpulmonary pressure, which is designed to open up the collapsed and the airless alveoli. It is used actually in the ARDS, and it's a part of open lung approach to the mechanical ventilation. Though this remains the how to perform, there are various manuals, and it remains a controversial subject, and it should not be considered as a part of routine practice. That is, it is used only in case of ARDS. Sir, आप next slide करेंगे क्या please? So why the recruitment is done? Because there is de-recruitment of the lung. It is because we use the low tidal volume ventilation, and if there is inadequate positive in expiratory pressure, that is the PEEP, and use of the high FiO2, if we use it to achieve the targeted saturation, it will cause absorption atelectasis. So next slide. So at given point of time, there are three distinct lung zones, as last time also we have discussed, and they are associated with the ventilator induced injury. The most dependent part of the lung is actually, even if there is, and it causes chronic collapse injury. Then there is an intermediate zone. There is a cyclic collapse and re-expansion of the alveoli, which shear into the alveoli, and the least dependent, that is the uppermost, we can say, is the region which remains inflated throughout the tidal volume. And if we give more tidal volume, then it will get overinflated by tidal volume if we use more tidal volume. And the planetary pressure more than 30 to 35 centimeters of water, and it causes volume trauma and barotrauma. And all these things, sir, next slide, sir, on all these things, all these mechanisms, they can cause a cytokine release or biotrauma, and they further contribute to the risk of multi-organ failure and mortality because of the increase in the inflammation and increase in the inflammatory mediators. So recruitment maneuvers, they are actually used to open the collapsed lungs, and the PEEP is used to prevent the cyclic collapse, and as a part of open lung approach to the ventilation to increase the end expiratory lung volume. That is, even after expiration, the lung volume remains more. There is an improve in the gas exchange so that we can improve the oxygenation and decrease the ventilator associated lung injury. Sir, next slide. So there are various methods actually to this recruitment, like, hello, sir,
Yeah.
like the giving the pressure of 40 centimeters of water for 30 seconds, then 3 consecutive sighs per minute, and to achieve the plateau pressure of 45 centimeters of water. Then 2 minutes of peak pressure of 50 centimeters of water, and PEEP above the upper inflection point, and long slow increase in the inspiratory pressure up to 40 centimeters of water, and staircase maneuver, that is stepped increase in the pressure slowly, which we are going to discuss in detail today. Next slide, sir. Next slide, sir. So uh, during the recruitment maneuver, there are multiple methods for determining the, hello, sir,
Yeah. Yeah.
optimal PEEP. Optimal PEEP. Like, for example, we set the PEEP at 25 centimeters of water, and then we decrease it by 2 centimeter increment, checking the compliance and then saturation with the each setting to determine the optimal PEEP. Here, the patient should be monitored for adverse effect like hemodynamic instability and barotrauma during the performance of the recruitment maneuver. And these repeat recruitment maneuver may be performed for subsequent de-recruitment. Recruitment can also be achieved without performing the recruitment maneuver per se, like for the by the removal of the mucus plug if that is the cause of collapse, chest physiotherapy, and lastly by proning. So there are various advantages and disadvantages of the recruitment maneuver. It is not free of disadvantage. The advantage is there is a improved in the gas exchange, improved compliance of the lung. It is cheap, quick, and easy to do, and it can reduce the conversion or other adjuvants, like use of other adjuvants like prostacyclins, ECMO, oscillation, etc. Next, sir. But it requires actually heavy sedation and paralysis. And the benefit which we achieve may be transient. It can cause hemodynamic instability because of the increase in the intrathoracic pressure. Only few disease states can respond to it. It can cause, may worsen the oxygenation by shunting, and may contribute to the ventilator-induced lung injury due to over-distension and repeated opening of the lung. There is a risk of barotrauma, including the pneumothorax. The staircase recruitment maneuver may increase mortality in severe ARDS patient as per the trial, ARD trial. So actually this approach is described by Hodgson in 2011. The other approaches of staircase recruitment maneuver include targeting the optimal static compliance rather than optimal saturation or SpO2. It is indicated in the severe ARDS of less than 1 week of duration, and other patients it is to be considered on individualized basis. Next, if there is a circulatory instability, then it is one of the contraindication, and we have to ensure that the fluid and inotrope resuscitation should be complete and the blood pressure should be above the target. Pneumothorax or any air leak present should be ruled out. There is a high risk of pneumothorax, especially if there is a necrotizing lung infection or lung cyst. And the ventilated ARDS present for more than 1 week. If the patient is having ARDS for more than 1 week, they are the poor responders, and it is a relative procedure is using the pressure control ventilation. We have to adjust the FiO2 to target the saturation of 90 to 92. Then we have to set the pressure to 15 centimeters of water above the PEEP and maintain this difference throughout. Then increase the PEEP in a stepwise manner to 20, then 30, then 40 centimeters of water with the adjustment made every 2 minutes. And then we have to reduce the PEEP to 25, then 25, 22.5, then 20, and then 17.5, or to absolute minimum to the 15 centimeters of water every 3 minutes until the decrease in saturation is more than 1% from the maximum saturation which was observed during the recruitment. And increase in the PEEP to 40 centimeters of water for 1 minute, then return to the PEEP level to 2.5 centimeters of water above the de-recruitment point. This is the optimal PEEP. And then adjust the tidal volume to less than 6 ml per kg ideal body weight, and the pleural pressure of less than 30 centimeters of water, which is tolerate, and to tolerate the permissive hypercapnia if the pH is more than 7.15, and can increase the respiratory rate up to 38 per minute, which is maximum. It should be stopped if the heart rate is less than 60 or it goes above 140. Any arrhythmia is there. If the systolic blood pressure drops to less than 80, and saturation becomes less than 85%, then it is known and it is failed. Hello, 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 sir. Hello, sir. Hello, hello, hello. Right.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. All right. So,
Hello.
yeah.
Hello.
So, yeah, we heard you. We heard you.
Sir,